I'll watch some TV. It'll help me to relax.
Welcome back to the Ren and Stimpy recap. Last week we talked about My Shiny Friend, and today we are taking a look at Cheese Rush Days.
And with these hands, I hope the fate of millions.
Not the most interesting title card. It's very much on theme and it doesn't look bad, but it's a bit basic. The music fits really well though, and it's, thematic like I said, so it's still all around good.
Many a tale has been told of those hardy pioneers who struck it rich out in the wild.
We see a cowboy being run over by a bus and a very cursed looking realistic human who looks like Michael Jackson. Then we see Blue Cheese and Blue Cheese Mountain, which all obviously is a gold parody.
Of this father lode.
I'm guessing this means we have new versions of Ren and Stimpy here, and I'm already excited because of the western theme, which, together with the Royal Canadian Kilted Yaxman, was the only themed episode that hadn't returned at least once.
To reach the high country and the riches that await them.
Stimpy is a beast, carrying Ren and the whole cart up to just be ran over by it. Ren spots a crusty old prospector riding this very small donkey with all his riches. He also shows his navel cheese ring and his blue tooth, which impresses both Ren and Stimpy. He says there's plenty more where that came from, which gets Ren really excited.
Did you hear that, old codger? Just think, Stimpy. We're gonna be filthy, stinky, moldy rich.
They are now 1,000 miles from civilization, surrounded by vicious animals, poisonous snakes, and bloodthirsty savages. He is really hyped about all of this though.
What are you gonna do with that?
You see, Ren, pioneers in the Old West depended on the buffalo for all their survival needs.
This buffalo will apparently be used as both clothing and housing. It's called Daisy, by the way, and starts eating some grass, and then this happens.
Ta-da! A buffalo chip igloo!
Nah, that's actually cool. We cut to night with Stimpy serving Ren dinner. We got a really nice opening shot for the scene as well. Stimpy is serving buffalo chips on toast, which Ren doesn't want to eat.
I'm not eating no cow! Not so loud, Ren. We don't dare complain about the food in these parts.
Stimpy says that they might hear them, and by they he mean French chefs, since they are in the land of savage French chefs. That's really hard to say for me. Ren slaps Stimpy, that's easier to say.
Savage French chefs!
You really believe those old wives' tales?
The savage French chefs attack, and when Ren tells Stimpy to circle the wagon, he just starts running around it in circles, which is pretty funny, and then they get captured.
Needed a bath. I was getting kinda stinky.
You bonehead. This isn't a bathtub. They're gonna make soup out of us.
Stimpy licks his own face and gets really hyped about his own soup. He gets slapped again as Ren is now thinking. He comes up with a plan that he whispers to Stimpy.
Hey, buddy! What kind of cheap joint are you running here? There's a dead cat in my soup!
Whatever this guy is, comes up to Ren and takes his complaints. Ren asks him to get a to-go special instead, and after being paid with what I assume is $5, we cut to this.
Teriyaki!
Shut up!
Nah, that's crazy. Probably one of the darkest moments so far. Doesn't beat the ending of Ren's retirement though. We cut to a great establishing shot with the valley of slow lingering death. They are not looking too great, and I'm pretty sure we are about to get a very iconic scene that I will appreciate a lot, since this is the first thing in the whole episode that has rung a bell for me.
Well, if it isn't you, it was me.
They actually find the blue cheese mountain, which means I was totally wrong about the upcoming scene. I actually confused it with the scene from In the Army when Ren is going crazy, just because he looked similar to how he does there. Y'all know which scene I'm talking about, like the part of that scene where it's like almost a choir sound in the background and Ren is just sitting and looking. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on screen. I mean, I was wrong, but like could have fit in here as well. It's kind of funny because we already watched that episode in this retrospective series, and that's one of my like favorite episodes, but I haven't gone back to rewatch it like I only think like once after editing. There's actually a lot of episodes I haven't rewatched, but then we get to like some of the season 1 episodes I have rewatched like at least 10 times at this point. Stimpy eats some cheese to squeeze it out of his ears for some reason, and then he pukes up the rest. He's just being Stimpy, I guess. We get to see Ren's blistered hands, which is really gross looking.
Yipes! That smell! It might be deadly cheese gas!
Ren pulls out a giant canary bird to know for sure. He says he doesn't smell anything and lights a cigar, which causes an explosion, I'm guessing because of the gas.
Eureka!
They struck a vein with blue cheese. Stimpy tells Ren that they are rich and reminds him of their 50-50 split, but unfortunately for him, Ren has other plans and just takes everything.
West was one. But don't feel too bad, pal. You got all the cheese you can eat!
Ren does one of his like most evil things so far in the show. Can't say it's out of character, Ren is one greedy chihuahua. He does an evil laugh and leaves.
He took all our loot.
Stimpy is most upset that Ren took his cool miner's hat and he starts crying like crazy while the canary is just sitting there. Thankfully for them, the prospect from earlier digs a tunnel up to them.
My, what a fine pair of prospectors! A couple of elegant bedfellows to kick at the first sign of rain! Shut up, I tell you, or I'll flatten your head with this cigar!
He tells them to look under their feet and they notice that they are sitting on a huge piece of blue cheese. We cut to a western town with Ren going to the bank.
I got a bag of the blue stuff for you.
Ooh, splendid!
The guy throws the bag back at Ren and we see that it's fool's cheese. He is kicked out of the bank, serves him right, he is a complete ass in this episode. And that's how the episode ends. This one was alright. Cheese Rush Days didn't do anything particularly great or bad. It was a solid, entertaining watch, but not much more than that. I think the visuals were kind of weak, especially coming off of last week's episode. It just didn't give me that immersion into the Western world that I would have hoped for. The story was a bit better. It's a pretty cut and dry parody of classic Western stories, but it worked well and I think it fit our characters. There were a couple different plot points, but I would have liked to see them just do more with it overall. This is an episode where I think it makes sense that I forgot about this one, because I didn't remember anything here. Compared to last week's episode where I was like really surprised. This one is more in the like boat of Lumberjerks. Actually, this one and Lumberjerks are really similar to me. That's like a category of Ren and Stimpy episode that I think the next one We haven't gotten there yet, but I think the next episode might also be in this category. Fun facts. This episode was rated 14 plus in Canadian ratings, which is not the first time the age ratings have been weird over there. If anything, I would guess it could have to do with the grilling scene, because that was really dark even for this show. But I mean, there has been worse stuff. I don't know. All in all, a decent episode. Join me next week where we are taking a look at Wiener Barons.
Goodbye, folks.